Have you ever stopped and asked yourself a simple question? Why do we trust strangers? Think about it. Every day, you interact with people you have never met. You buy something from someone online. You send money across borders. You hire someone from another country to do work for you. You download an application created by someone you don't know. But somehow, we make it work. Why? Because between us and the other person, there are systems, banks, companies, governments, platforms. These systems create trust, but they also create something else. Control. A bank can approve you. A company can ban you. A platform can change its rules. A website can disappear. So throughout history, humans have always searched for a better question. Can we build systems where trust does not depend completely on one powerful organization? Can we create something where the rules are open, transparent, and available to everyone? This question sounds impossible, but one young programmer believed technology could attempt it, and his idea became Ethereum. Before we talk about Ethereum, we need to understand the world that created it. In the early days of the internet, the dream was simple. Connect humanity, share information, allow people anywhere in the world to communicate. And it worked. The internet changed everything. A person sitting in a small room could communicate with millions of people. A student could access knowledge from universities around the world. A creator could build an audience without asking a television network for permission. The internet removed many barriers. But there was one thing it did not remove: the need for trusted intermediaries. If you wanted to buy something online, you trusted a marketplace. If you wanted to send money, you trusted a payment provider. If you wanted to store information, you trusted a company. The internet changed how we exchange information, but it did not completely change how we exchange value. Then Bitcoin appeared. Bitcoin introduced a strange and powerful idea. What if money could exist without a bank? At first, many people laughed. Money without a central authority? A currency controlled by no government? A payment system operated by computers around the world? It sounded unrealistic. But Bitcoin proved something important. People who had never met each other could agree on a shared record of transactions. They could trust a system without trusting a person. And that idea captured the imagination of many people, including a young programmer named Vitalik Buterin. Vitalik looked at Bitcoin and saw something amazing. But he also saw a limitation. Bitcoin was designed mainly for one purpose: money. It could transfer value. It could record ownership of coins. It could protect transactions. But Vitalik wondered, what if the blockchain could do more? What if it could run programs? What if it could create agreements? What if it could become a foundation where anyone could build applications? Bitcoin created digital money. Ethereum wanted to create a digital world. Imagine a normal computer. A normal computer belongs to someone. A company, a person, an organization. The owner controls it. They decide what happens. Ethereum imagined something different. A computer that exists across thousands of computers around the world. No single owner. No single location. No single person who can simply shut it down. A world computer, not because it is one giant machine, but because many computers agree on the same state and follow the same rules. This is the idea behind Ethereum. But the most important invention inside Ethereum is not the coin. It is the smart contract. The name sounds complicated, but the idea is actually simple. Let's imagine a real human problem. A software developer in Ethiopia finds a client in Germany. The client needs a website built. Both people want the deal, but both have a fear. The client thinks, what if I pay and the developer disappears? The developer thinks, what if I finish the website and the client refuses to pay? Normally, they need a trusted middleman. Maybe a freelance platform. Maybe a payment company. Maybe a legal system. The middleman creates trust. But the middleman also takes fees and controls the process. Now imagine the agreement itself could hold the rules. The client sends the payment into a smart contract. The smart contract says, the payment is locked. When the agreed conditions are completed, release the payment. The money does not belong to the developer yet. The money does not return to the client automatically. It waits according to the rules. A program becomes the neutral middleman. That is the idea. But here is an important reality. Smart contracts are not magic. They cannot understand everything humans understand. A smart contract cannot look at a website and say, this design is beautiful. It cannot know whether someone worked hard. It cannot understand emotions. It cannot replace human judgment. What it can do is something very specific. It can enforce clear rules. So smart contracts do not remove humans. They reduce the amount of trust humans need. Once Ethereum existed, people started asking another question. If we can build agreements without traditional intermediaries, what else can we build? This created a new ecosystem. One example is decentralized finance. Today, many financial services depend on institutions, banks, brokerages, payment processors. These systems serve billions of people, but they also have requirements, documents, approvals, geographical limitations. DeFi introduced another experiment. What if financial tools could exist as open programs? What if anyone with an internet connection could interact with financial contracts? This opened possibilities, but it also created risks. Some projects failed. Some people lost money. Some systems were attacked. Innovation always creates opportunities and dangers together. Then came another wave, digital ownership. For years, the internet made copying easy. A song, an image, a file. Digital information could be duplicated endlessly. Ethereum introduced a new idea. What if the internet could prove ownership of something digital? This idea powered NFTs. Many people only saw expensive pictures, but the deeper idea was about digital ownership. A certificate proving that something belongs to someone. Whether that idea becomes important in art, gaming, identity, or other fields remains part of the ongoing experiment. But Ethereum's journey was not easy. Growth created problems. More people used the network. More applications appeared. The system became expensive and sometimes slow. Critics questioned everything. Was blockchain really useful? Was Ethereum too complicated? Was the entire movement just speculation? These questions are not unreasonable. Every technology that changes the world faces criticism. The first cars were unreliable. The first airplanes were dangerous. The first computers were enormous. The question is not, was the first version perfect? The question is, can it improve? One of Ethereum's biggest moments came when it changed how it secures the network. The transition was called the merge, a huge technological change. A network used by millions of people changed its underlying mechanism while continuing to operate. It was like replacing the engine of an airplane while the airplane was still flying. A risky mission, a massive engineering challenge. So where does Ethereum go from here? Nobody knows. And maybe that is the most honest answer. Ethereum is not a guaranteed revolution. It is not a magical solution. It is an experiment. An experiment asking a very old human question. How do we cooperate with people we do not know? For thousands of years, humans built trust through communities, laws, and institutions. Ethereum explores another possibility. Can some forms of trust be built into technology itself? Maybe Ethereum succeeds. Maybe another technology replaces it. Maybe history remembers it differently than people expect. But one thing is undeniable. Ethereum changed the way humanity thinks about what the internet could become. It transformed the question from, can we send information online? To, can we build systems, economies, and agreements online? And that is why Ethereum is more than a cryptocurrency. It is a story about humans trying to redesign trust. This is Mr. Bit Insights. We don't just look at technology. We look at the ideas, struggles, and human dreams behind it. Because every revolution begins the same way. Someone asks a question that sounds impossible.